Could you please stop scrolling for a second? This is so important. Nothing is more important than this. Do you know where you are going when you die? Why do you know that? How do you know that? How can you be so sure? What are you basing it off of? These are things you need to be thinking about daily. You can't gamble eternity like that. You can't just say, oh, well, we can't know. No, you can know. And I'm going to tell you, and you may have never heard this, and maybe you have, and maybe you just disregarded it before. But this will change your life, believe me. People who accept Jesus are radically changed and know this isn't some crazy cult. This isn't anything like a cult. Cults are formed because they're trying to do what the Bible is, but their own twisted version of it. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is the payment for our sins. You can't be good enough because only He is good enough. How do you get saved? You just say yes to Jesus. If you believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord, that He is God, if you believe in your heart that God Himself raised His Son, Jesus Christ, from the dead 2,000 years ago, if you believe He sent Him to the cross, in that Jesus took the punishment for our sins that we deserved. We should have been the ones on the cross if we got what we deserve. But He loved us that much that He did it. And even if we wanted to, we couldn't do it because we're sinful. And the payment could only work if a sinless, spotless lamb went on there. And so it had to be Jesus because He's the only one of us without sin. And the only way that's possible is because He is God. People say, oh no, he wasn't God. That's ridiculous. I have one word that can prove all of that wrong. You've probably even heard it before. Emmanuel. What does Emmanuel mean? When Jesus Christ came here in the flesh, technically not when He was born because I'm pretty sure He was always alive. But when He came here in the flesh as a baby, they called Him Emmanuel. He goes by many names, and that's one of them. Emmanuel. They did not want you to miss this because they put it right there. They wanted to make sure you knew what Emmanuel means. Emmanuel meaning God with us. Literally right there, they called Him God. I always forget this. I don't know if it was Peter or who it was, but someone in the Bible literally, when they were walking side by side with Jesus, they literally called Him God. In Jesus, He accepted that. He didn't deny Him. If He wasn't God, He would have shut Him down. That alone proves He's God, that He is Emmanuel, God with us. So, anyways, how do you get saved? I was getting into that, but if you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord, and you believe in your heart that God raised Him from the dead, you will be saved. Don't overthink it. Don't think, I've done too many sinful things. I've thought that myself. I still feel too sinful. That's just human nature. That's natural. You're going to feel that. But it doesn't work like that. That's what He says. He says, anyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. As long as you mean it. Unless you have believed in vain, right? Some people, they walk away from the faith, but gotta tell you, they were never changed. They go right back to their old sinful lifestyle. They never got it. They thought they got it. They played the part. They played the part of Christian. You know, there's so many wolves in sheep's clothing. Wolves in sheep's clothing. They just They say they're a Christian, but they're not. You know, and that's why we have so many people that walk away from the faith, because their heart never actually turned to him. They never actually became a new person, a new creation, a new creature, right? So, don't overcomplicate it. And don't let the fact that there are so many people that pretended to be a Christian but never actually got it scare you. Because it's not hard for you to get it. It's not something you have to earn, something you have to go to college for 10 years to study and try to hopefully understand God. No, he just gives it to you. He just lets you understand, as long as your heart's genuine. It's that simple. You just have to be willing. You have to call out. Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord, you have to call on the name of the Lord. Just pray. Not even necessarily a prayer is what's going to save you. It's just your change of mind, your change of heart, you wanting to be with him. So his perfect God blood on the cross is our payment. People are like, why would a loving God ever send me to hell? He offered you a way out of hell every single day of your life, and you said no every single day of your life, at least so far. But it's not him who's turning you away. It's you who's been turning him away your whole life. Once you understand, that kind of changes everything. Suddenly he's not such a hateful God when you actually know him. Take it from someone who knows him. Is that a brag? Can I brag about that humbly? I'm kind of excited about that. I kind of love that I actually know him and he talks to me. And I fail him miserably like every day, but again, it's not about being perfect. But when you do fall, when you do stumble, you get back up and you go back to him. You ask him, you say, Lord, forgive me. I messed up. I did something terrible. But he expects that. He knows we're not going to be perfect. We're in sinful fleshly bodies that want to do sin. But our spirit is different now. We've become a new creation. The soul is willing, but the flesh is weak. Who was it? Paul that said he thinks of himself as the chief of sinners, like the most sinful man. And I think the closer you get to God, you relate to that so much. Every day I'm kind of like, I just don't want to even be on this earth anymore, because I wish I could punch my skin. If it was like a part of me, if I could just beat it up and be like, get out of here. But we can't be apart from it until God makes us perfect once we get to heaven. And I am waiting for that so much every day. I do not care about this world, the things I used to love, the things I even used to enjoy in any form. Like, most of that now, I'm just like, I just kind of don't care. All the movies and stuff I was excited about, I'm just like, if I go to watch one, I'm just doing it just cause. Like, I don't really feel anything hardly at all with the world, like with media and everything. I don't know, it's just not the same. But that shows that I'm on the right track, that I am getting closer to God, to Jesus every day. And I do fail miserably, because we're supposed to take up our own crosses. We are supposed to die to ourselves every day and deny the flesh every single day. And some days I don't, and that makes me feel awful. But the fact that if you do mess up, if you do sin, because you will, you'll sin less and less the closer you get to him, but the fact that you feel so bad about it proves that you're saved. If you're sinning every day and you don't feel bad, if you don't feel any conviction, any guilt, you're probably not saved. I can pretty much guarantee it. So, I could go on. I hope I explained enough the gospel. But yeah, I think we just need to get back to basics and talk about the gospel way more often on here, right? Alright, God bless you guys. Peace.